Adoa TV, bringing good things to life.
And welcome to the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. The evening news is coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans Atta Mills High Street in Accra. And you can also watch us live on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana and on YouTube at Adoa TV GH. Remember, the evening news is brought to you by Blue City Ties and Accessories, Verna Mineral Water, and Rwanda Air. Now, in our top stories for tonight's bulletin, President John Dramani Mahama has reported President Akufo-Addo to UK's Commonwealth parliamentarians over what he describes as brazen the abandoning of projects started by past administrations. And we'll bring you details of that shortly. Also in this bulletin, a Greek minister, Akoto Efriyi, assures Ghanaians of proper measures to be outlined in ensuring food security in 2022. And finally, in sports, former Norwich City manager Chris Hughton is in Ghana ahead of possibly taking over vacant Black Stars coaching job. We bring you details of these stories and more in this bulletin. I am Benedicta Dodoo. Now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has made a personal donation of 100,000 Ghana cedis to the Apiety Support Fund. By this kind and compassionate gesture to this noble cause, Mr. President becomes the first person to donate to the fund. The delegation was led by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources for the donation.
That the minister has been extremely proactive in dealing with the issues here and came here saying that he's been receiving a lot of calls about people wanting to help and how we should go forward. And the result of it is what has been now established and which you're members of. The target, what should we be aiming to do? In the best of all possible worlds, would be to rebuild the city, the village. We don't have a clear idea of what was there, what it was like before the explosion. But we can have an idea. I mean, it can't be very different from other villages around the area. It must be more or less the same. And therefore, envisaging what is to be done, the numbers involved, I don't think it's going to be rocket science. We should be able to do that relatively straightforward. This is the project, and it has to succeed. But as always, it has to begin with the money. If there's no money, it's difficult to move on. And so I want to wish you the very best of luck. And yes, madam, I have my widow's mite. I have 100,000 CDs.
Speaking to members of the Apiety Support Fund who were at the Jubilee House to be formally introduced to him, the president called for a review of the 10-year-old mining law with explicit provisions regarding the role of the police in transportation of explosives.
We obviously have to focus on the whole issue of safety in the mining communities and in the mining sector. I think that it gives us an opportunity to look at the whole regulatory framework, focusing on safety as far as mining activities and the development of the mining sector is concerned.
The Lands and Natural Resource Minister Samuel Abujinapo, who set up the committee, noted that it is made up of people with expertise in the mining sector, hence will recommend proper measures to ensure the adherence of safety protocols in the mining sector. On her part, the chairperson for the support fund, Dr. Joyce Ayi, said the committee will explore ways to bring Apiati back to life.
In city, making sure that we use renewable resources to build the city, and we get the people to understand that things have changed so much that the world is also suffering from our misuse of the world's natural resources. And so whatever can be done to make sure that it's a sustainable city, that even their livelihoods are sustainable and don't have to depend on further depletion of natural resources. These are some of the thoughts that we'll bring to the minister.
Former President John Dramani Mahama has told UK's Commonwealth parliamentarians that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has brazenly abandoned projects that were started by past administrations. Mr. Mahama said the practice of abandoned projects is an affront to Ghana's constitution. He said these when the leadership of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association UK (CPA) UK visited and held discussions with him in Accra on Friday, January 28, 2022.
Members of the CPA UK are in Accra for a trade and security workshop for the UK and African parliamentarians to explore how Parliament can address trade and security issues in the context of unexpected external events like COVID-19. Led by the Cardiff South and Penat Member of Parliament, Stephen Doughty, who represents the Labour Party, the delegation discussed with the former president issues of sub-regional security, the effects of COVID-19 on the economy, affirmative action, and the role of women in the growth of the economy, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the worrying issue of abandoning projects started by previous government. The presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) in the 2020 elections commended the UK Parliament and the CPA UK for its commitment to governmental accountability. He, however, expressed dissatisfaction about the level of abandoned projects President Akufo-Addo has decided not to complete. We didn't see it as presently in other governments. It is something that is with this particular Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's government. We didn't see it as presently in other governments. It is something that is with this particular Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's government, he said. Mr. Mahama observed that Ghana has not reached the height of democracy that the UK epitomizes, where members of parliament could look into the face of the head of government, call him out over a wrong action, and get him to feel remorseful.
Moving on, Agric Minister Honorable Efriye Koto has indicated that government through the Agric Ministry has put in measures to ensure that the country does not suffer any adverse effects of food crop production in the country as a result of the shortages in fertilizer supply. Now, the minister, in answering an urgent question made by the Honorable Member for Kwadaso, Dr. Nyaku, on measures the Agric Ministry is taking to address the complaints of farmers about fertilizer prices and supply, enumerated some 4 key issues associated with fertilizer supply since 2021.
Mr. Speaker, the lessons learned on the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on economic activities call for pragmatic and innovative solutions to sustain the gains of the PhD campaign. Even before the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, government had taken major steps to ensure local production of fertilizer and the encouragement of farmers to gradually shift to organic fertilizer, which is locally available. Frantic efforts are also being made to attract a multi-billion-dollar investment in a fertilizer manufacturing plant, which will rely on the surplus gas produced through offshore oil explorations for production. The government is also collaborating with OCP Group of Companies, a Moroccan conglomerate, to map soils in Ghana according to their nutrient and chemical composition. This will enable the use of blended fertilizers specific to soil types, promote efficient use of fertilizers, and increase productivity. Mr. Speaker, to eliminate any possible abuse of subsidized fertilizers facility, a farmer database has been developed with biometric information, a feature for tracking fertilizer bags, and a subsidy redemption solution with inbuilt security features such as deduplication, token verification, and biometric authentication before fertilizer subsidies are disbursed to farmers. To date, 1.2 million farmers have been registered in all regions within the northern belt of the country. A total of 3 million farmers have also been targeted for registration in the southern region of the country as soon as practicable. The database will ensure proper targeting of fertilizer and seed subsidy beneficiaries and prevent smuggling. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Meanwhile, at a stakeholders engagement with Market Women Transport Associations and the Ghana Union of Traders Association GUTA on Tuesday, January 25th, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quarter stated that they are very much ready to start the Operation Clean Your Frontage come February 1st. He explained that they are starting the process of implementation, which includes persons that have been sent to training to pass out and assist in ensuring that there is strict adherence and compliance.
The RCC, in collaboration with stakeholders, will embark on an awareness program on the 1st of February. We are working together with the YEA, NADMO, the National Service Secretariat. It is expected, all things being equal, that over 20,000 volunteers will be poured onto the streets of Accra on the 1st of February. They will work in various assemblies.
All assemblies are expected to construct at least a waste transfer station as part of the policy, with hundreds of city officers supposed to have been trained ahead of the full implementation of the policy. The minister noted that these may not be ready before February 1, 2022. However, the RCC will implement the policy.
Transfer sites are a smaller module of transporting wastes to the landfill sites. We charge the waste management companies to, as it were, assist the MMDAs by constructing the transfer sites in all the 29 assemblies, so that the operators of Adoa will not find it difficult to, as it were, transport or cart rubbish from one destination to the other. We are aware that because of the challenges that we are experiencing in the world at large, i.e. the COVID, the machines are on its way. We have received sites that has been allocated by the assemblies. Subsequent to that, our team, the technical people from the RCC and other stakeholders have since visited these sites to assess their suitability for building or constructing of the transfer sites.
Meanwhile, Mr. Korte appealed to traders who abandoned the market squares and squat along the pavement to return to their stalls.
We have today invited the stakeholders who play a strategic and, for that matter, a major role in our markets, on the streets, and the transport sector, and the businesses and trading centers as Guta, for us to look at how best we can come together and work as a team in prosecuting the Operation Clean Your Frontage agenda. And as you can see today, they have all called their house out. What emerged out of these interactions was that clearly the market women have spoken on authority, and I say on authority, that there are spaces in the marketplaces. And so those who are hawking and trading on the streets, principal streets in Accra, will have no cause to complain, because they can go into the markets to do business. The market queens have extended an open, or have invited them to join them in the markets to work. And so we will be tackling areas like Circle, which is my constituency, for the records. Circle area, there are 3 constituencies in Circle. That is Ayowaso Central, Okankwe North, and Koliklote. When you move them into assemblies, you have AMA, which is one side, you have Ayowaso Central, and you have Koliklote. We will ensure that traders and what is known as floating commercial vehicles will not do business on the streets. Then we'll look at Kaneshi from First Light all the way to Bechabil and this circle on both sides. Once again, traders and vehicles will not be allowed to load around these places.
The General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asedu Nketia, has urged Ghanaians to disregard a memo circulating on social media purported to be from him. The purported memo is urging members of SEC to do all they can to ensure the rejection of the memo. This, according to the memo, is to ensure the governing New Patriotic Party goes back to the IMF. By speaking to the General Secretary, he noted that he hasn't issued any memo and alleges that it's a scheme by the New Patriotic Party to cause confusion between him and the minority in Parliament, and has urged all Ghanaians to disregard it.
Do anything at all about e-levy at all. I haven't written anything like that. It's somebody's figment of his this. But you say I've issued letters to FEC. When we say FEC, Functional Executive Committee, they are the people I'm working with. If I meet them every day, so if I have to tell them something, I have to write a letter to them. It's all fake. I haven't written anything at all on any paper anywhere. It's just MPP work. Because the effect will be that, one, as if our MPs don't know anything, and that I am directing them and threatening to punish them. That is one side of it. The other side is that Ghanaians will think that the position we are taking is not born out of patriotism, that we want MPP to go to IMF so that it's a balancing game. What type of rubbish is that? Because you know something, the decision not to support the e-levy came from the MPs. And they are advising us not to give in, but to support them to implement their decision. So it is not as if we have taken a decision and we are taking it on MPs. Not at all. The minority leader was the first person to speak against any such levy in case it is introduced. When he spoke, he had some intelligence. The budget had not even been read. He spoke on CCTV. You can go and check. So this is something that our MPs have sat down and realized that it will hurt Ghanaians. So they have taken a position Nothing. It should not be viewed as if somebody outside is taking a position and imposing it on our MPs who are elected. But it's all rubbish.
In the next story coming up, you're likely to find many of them dotted across the streets begging for alms to access basic necessities. However, there are others who are also defying the odds by the same conditions or even sometimes worse, but wouldn't depend on alms for survival. Isaac Otu throws the spotlight on one of those, a 43-year-old physically challenged cobbler who hasn't been limited by his condition and is urging all physically challenged persons to desist from depending on alms for their daily survival and rather acquire a skill that will earn them a living.
Meet Joe Lati, a 49-year-old physically challenged cobbler. He is married with children and resides in Accra. He specialized in shoemaking, for which he feeds his wife and children and also meets other family responsibilities. Mr. Lati's 30 years as a cobbler, despite his condition, speaks volume of his hard work and determination.
I got that 37 sir. No Satan, no me translate but 37 now go share sir no show me sir sana manya no say.
He tells me, although he was once dependent on alms for daily survival, he one day decided not to indulge in alms begging, and as such, by the benevolence of an individual, he got himself a shoe polish and other materials needed and began as a cobbler. Gradually, things began picking up and he later on acquired a skill in shoemaking.
That is started. But me I'm sure I'm afford me mommy
I've been doing this for the past 30 years. Although I get support from benevolent individuals, I decided not to survive on the alms any longer. Therefore, I began as a cobbler and later on began making shoes.
Mr. Lati is now married with 2 children and he's been able to cater for his first child through senior high school and the second one also through his junior high education, hoping he could further his son's education to the senior high level.
I have 2 children. The first one has completed GHS and the second has completed SHS.
Uka bibi se na enkani no manfo na ne ma uska ma wo so tumi de hwe fie ni ade e de ne ba utri ma uka se de bi me fa me ni nsi ni pasu bi ontwen so bi be ma miska ansa na ma hwe mebusua
no pan de se onye de bia na obetumi ama wo e de se misu mi bo mi na mi nya kasa medjuma na mi ye na mfa hwe mu because anka manye sa tab na mi nya mi ilu nu se mitumi ko bisa se ma miska fa ma mi ili no to me say say wo akasa umnya onim na unya waduma
se juma we ana wo de ware ye e de wo ma e de ashoma oba ko ewie SS oba ko nso ewie GHS oba be ko SHS
no a
ene obeka se juma na aboa
oh che me stress na metranfie.
For Mr. Lati, although society is difficult as things are hard, but that is not a justification for physically challenged persons to turn themselves to nuisance because of their condition. He therefore charged physically challenged persons like himself not to lose hope and always believe in themselves, acquire a skill, and desist from alms begging for basic necessities. Disability, he noted, does not mean inability.
Say now usan betumi usan ya bibi usan nya hwe got na ya no so sa we sister scan kwa ya betumi achi
I feel pathetic seeing physically challenged people begging for alms when they can acquire skills to earn a living. Many physically challenged persons have skills but prefer to beg for alms. Every person with disability should desist from begging for alms. So long as you're mentally stable, you can make a living.
So that Obito to me catch him say, man, I'm here, and now watch him, son, and I'm a follow, and we go for me to tramp one. Stadium, so I saw now, Peduma. Someone would be what you do, and then I'll be going to now, go says cancer. And tell me, the meaning of I come now, almost one duma. No, yet.
That notwithstanding, Joe Lati called on all benevolent individuals to support him get a better structure in order to enlarge his business so he could create job opportunities for others.
By this time, I'm about from Kakra by no people about me, Bomana or Mamsu Kakra. Me, do not say, if you do so, I say,
I need support from benevolent individuals to revive my shoemaking business as things are very slow nowadays.
First name be at me to me fine. Not for better.
Isaac Otu, for Adoa News, Accra.
Some students in public universities are calling on government and teachers to settle their impasse for a smooth academic calendar. Now, according to the students, the ongoing strike by the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, is already affecting academic activities and have called for early resolution of concerns. Ms. Nankra was at the Ghana Institute of Journalism and has come through with the next report.
Students have been busily registering for the academic year and hoping for lectures to begin right after the festive season. However, things didn't go as planned. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, on Monday, January 10, 2022, embarked on a nationwide strike action to press home their demands for improved conditions of service. UTAG from last year has been lamenting over the worsening conditions of its members and followed through with some demands on government. In its latest press release dated January 20th, the group decried the government's inability to implement as well as meet timelines agreed upon during negotiations as part of efforts aimed at improving conditions of service of lecturers. The strike has lasted for 3 weeks now. Some students of the Ghana Institute of Journalism expressed dissatisfaction over the strike, stating emphatically how it's affecting them. According to Josephine Nyadu Efresha, the government must heed to the call of the disgruntled teachers to settle their differences.
We're supposed to start lectures about, 2 weeks now. But because of the strike, we are still home and not yet knowing when to come for lectures. It will affect us in a way that because of the timetable, we have to go back from some of the subjects because we are supposed to be starting learning right now. But because of that, some of the timetable has to go back. So I think it will affect us in a way. I think the teachers has to be taken care of so that they can also take care of us.
For Pond Festus, a level 200 student, the strike action is taking a toll on him, putting consideration monies paid for the semester only to be told that teachers are on strike.
It is, and then we can't do anything about it as students because they feel like what they are getting from what they are doing is not enough. So they have to do what it takes for the government to see to the government doing their responsibility the right way. So, well, it's not good for us. It's really hurting because you pay this huge sum of money as your fees way last year, and then this year, the moment school resumes, you hear this strike stuff, and it's really appalling. But Ghana, it's affecting me. Negatively, it's really affecting because I should be learning by now, but I'm in the house doing nothing. So, well, I understand the teachers with what they are doing, because I wouldn't say if I were to be in their position, I wouldn't do the same. You see, life, it hurts when you're doing something and you're not being valued for doing it, or you are not being paid the amount you are supposed to be paid. So I feel like, well, what they are doing, they think is right for them. So, but even though it's affecting us, it is what it is.
But Kelvin Dapla, also a level 200 student, believes students could still study as teachers are on strike. He outlines some ideas he believes would aid students in that regard.
It's affecting me in so many ways because there will be, if they come back, they will be telling us to write IA and other stuff. So it's worrying us, and the term is really short. The semester is really short. So I think it's affecting me a lot. Yeah, I think in a way it's good because they also work, they need to be paid. So if there's the need for them to stay at home, so they are being paid, I think it's a good idea. Yeah. You know, we are not learning because nothing has been given to us. Slides, anything has not been given to us. So we are still waiting on them. If the slides was given, we would have learned, but nothing has been given, so we are still waiting. Okay, to me, I'll plead with them to maybe come and even give us the slides to learn ahead, so that if they are being paid, then they can now come back and continue with lectures. Yeah.
Fauziatu Abdullah is also a level 200 student, and she pours out her frustrations.
Actually, we're actually worried because if it's already 3 weeks, so all the things we are supposed to learn at that particular 3 weeks, and if lucky for us, they go off strike on February. Of course, all the 3 weeks learning and this will be adjourned into February. So it will actually affect.
Meanwhile, the National Union of Ghana Students, NACS, has threw its weight behind the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, over its strike action, stating that the government had not been fair in its dealings with UTAG, hence demanding for government to formulate guidelines to implement the appropriate recommendations to address
This is the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. You see, CB men capsules in America.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules. Now, you knew the dada. And 1 year packaging, I had the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any bianza no akodo ben pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go ni fie du enka ho.
Susanna Ghana man man tamase.
Dodoo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Back and now moving to business, the Institute for Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISSER, has revealed that Ghana loses more than $2 billion in taxes alone due to the undervaluation of gold exports. The study revealed that from 2011 to 2017, Ghana's exports were undervalued by an estimated $8.3 billion. The group said the research focused on commodities like gold and cocoa as they were the main resources the country exports.
Senior economic researcher at ISA and member of the research team, Dr. Amakujo, indicated that the information was derived from the Ghana Revenue Authority and other government agencies. She added that gold was abnormally undervalued at about $8.3 billion in 2011, while the current price stands at $3.8 billion, which slashes the prices by 11% through exportation. The top 5 destination countries of these undervalued gold exports include major gold refining destinations such as India, South Africa, United Arab Emirates, Switzerland, and Portugal. This represented major gold refining, trading, and manufacturing destinations. But senior research fellow at ISA, Dr. Fred Janku, says he is optimistic that if measures are put in place to reduce the trade-related illicit financial flows, government would raise revenue to finance its major flagship programs.
That's all for business. Sports is next.
Malaria inti. Aba you are juma bono. Malaria therefore ya. Inti awo. Ashire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Apa CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria inti a ontimi ni.
Onia. And na ho Emma we no biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe we more. And Trebetua and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and Nakika bomb a sonnet so I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I don't grow. And yet that shit.
A drawing your ma a pen for a battery woman for any quada won't in fear dream.
Susiana. What would you with
FD Ashesha sa a jedi and crato you mu adia to Muse ege.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
In some sports update, former Norwich City and Brighton and Hove Albion manager Chris Hughton is in Ghana ahead of possibly taking over vacant Black Stars coaching job. Now, the Irish trainer is among a number of coaches listed as possible candidates to take over the managerial job following the sack of Milovan Rajvac on Wednesday, January 26th. Now, the 63-year-old is expected to have a meeting with the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association during his stay in the country. He was turned down by the GFA before the appointment of Milovan. A high-ranking member of the government is pushing for the appointment of the former Birmingham City manager as the next head coach of the senior national team, while the GFA's Executive Council have a different option for the job. Back to the local scene, the weekend Accra Hearts of Oak faces another stern test from King Faisal as they continue to fight to improve their place in the league log and defend their title. The former African champions lost 1-0 at Camp Park last week. Leaders Asante Kotoko will host Accra Great Olympics on March Day 15 of the Ghana Premier League at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The Porcupine Warriors are in an outstanding shape in the league and aim to continue the unbeaten run against the Daddy Boys in this fixture after going 7 matches without defeat.
Asante Kotoko has won their last 5 matches in the league since the 1-1 draw against Real Tamale United at home. Their longest winning run in the competition in the last 2 seasons, a run that has taken them to the top of the table with 30 points, 1 game fewer than all but arch rivals Heart of Oak. Coach Prosper Nate Ogum led his Chargers to a 1-0 win against the stubborn Mediama side at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium and have a huge advantage to extend their lead with another home tie. Former champions Adriana FC and high-flying Bechem United will clash at the Nana Ajimai Bedu Park on March Day 15th of the Ghana Premier League on Saturday. The 2-time champions suffered a 3-1 loss to Dreams FC on Monday to remain second on the log, 6 points behind leaders Asante Kotoko. They head into the match without first-choice goalkeeper Joseph Adu, who sustained an injury at the Theatre of Dreams. In the 3-1, Adriana FC has won 3, lost 2, and drawn 1 in their last 6 outings and 6th second in the log with 24 points. In other fixtures for Sunday, Brekum Chelsea returns home to play against Accra Lions. West African Football Academy, who drew goalless with Bechem United, will be at home against BBN Gold Stars at the Wafa Park, while Ashanti Gold come off their 1-0 away win against Accra Lions as hosts of Dreams FC. Fresh from their 2-1 loss to BBN Gold Stars, Legon Cities will play 11 Wonders at the Accra Sports Stadium. Real Tamale United clash with Karela United at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, with Mediama Sporting Club set to play at home against Elmina Sharks at the Akun Park.
Away from football, Rafael Nadal is a win away from a record-breaking 21st Grand Slam title after getting past Matteo Berrettini to reach the Australian Open final on Friday. Nadal overcame the Italian 7th seed 6-3 63623663 after 2 hours 55 minutes under the Rod Laver Arena roof in their semi-final. The Spanish star will face either Daniil Medvedev or Stefanos Tsitsipas in the decider, in which he can break the record for most Grand Slam titles won by a man.
Rafael Nadal stayed on track for the men's record 21st Grand Slam singles title when they beat Matteo Berrettini 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 in the Australian Open semi-finals. Nadal was dominant throughout the first two sets, moving the Italian around the court while dictating play. After Nadal took a 4-0 lead in the second set, 7th-seeded Berrettini had won only 1 point on his second serve in 11 attempts. With the roof closed on Rod Laver Arena because of heavy local rain and the subsequent high humidity in the building, the ball was heavy and flat, helping Nadal keep the ball in play. Nearly all of the long rallies in the first two sets went the 6th-seeded Spanish left-hander's way. But Berrettini turned it around midway through the third set. After not having a break point until then, Berrettini had 3 in the 8th game of the third set and converted his second, taking a 5-3 lead. He then led serve in the next game for 4 consecutive points to send the match to a 4th set. Nadal took control again when he broke Berrettini's serve in the 8th game of the 4th set. He then held to clinch the match. Even at 35, Nadal has reached yet another Grand Slam final. He became the 5th man aged 35 or older to reach a Grand Slam final in the Open era, after Federer, Ken Rosewall, Mal Anderson and Andrew Agassi. The win over Berrettini also saw Nadal beat a top 10 player at the Australian Open for the first time 2017. Nadal is tied with Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic in 20 major singles titles. Nadal will play the winner of the later semi-final between Daniil Medvedev and Stefanos Tsitsipas in Sunday night's final.
That's all for sports. Entertainment follows next.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Back. Innovative brothers Elisha Boy and Calvin Bill are earning a living out of waste. As others see it as rubbish, for these two it is a treasure. Now they make clothes out of plastics in a bid to save the environment. They believe this will help reduce the plastic waste menace in the country. Isaac Otu spends time with them and has come through with the following report.
Indiscriminate disposal of plastic waste is a major environmental problem in many developing countries, of which Ghana is not an exception. There have been several interventions to mitigate the plastic waste menace in this country. One of the biggest challenges that have engaged the attention of policymakers, stakeholders, politicians, and even governments is how best we could manage our plastic waste.
Meet Elisha, Boy, and Kelvin Bill. For others, it's waste. But for these innovative brothers, it's a treasure as they earn a living from plastic waste. They pick rubbers discarded at the markets and upcycle them into clothes. With 5 years experience as operators of Boy and Bill Fashion, these two brothers, 2 years ago, decided to go on a tangent from the regular designs in a bid to save our environment as the debate on whether or not to ban plastics got heated. And that was when the idea of upcycle of plastics into fashion came in mind.
I realized that, oh, when I go to Accra in the market, there are a whole lot of plastic waste, rubbers in the streets and all over. And we can actually pick them and bring them home and transform them into something great. So we officially kicked off the project, and every week when I go to the market, I pick most of the rubbers that they would throw away. And I also have some stores that I talk to for them to keep their rubbers for me. The response has been amazing. It feels like we've been doing it for like 5 years or 10 years. At first, when we started, I thought this was too radical. People were like, who is going to wear this? They are rubbers. Like, who is going to take it in this hot sun and a whole lot. But the response from the masses and the public has been amazing. People take our clothes for music video shoots, for photo shoots, and yeah, a whole lot. So it's been amazing.
Not only do they use rubbers, but also broken mirrors. One of the major environmental hazards confronting the country today is management of plastic waste. As of 2017, the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) stated that Ghana produces 1.7 million tons of plastics annually. Sometime in 2019, government was contemplating on whether or not to ban plastics in Ghana. But for Elisha Boy, a total ban is just not practical, as rubber plays an important role in one's daily activities.
I don't know about a total ban, but I feel like it can be reduced, maybe the number of imports and stuff, because plastic is still useful. Aside, I mean, I always say that this project, one of our goals is to put the plastic waste to use and make use of it so much that there will be value for it. The reason why people dump these rubbers and stuff is because there's no use after its primary use. That is, if you buy something from the shop and they use it to like serve you or something, or put your package stuff, after that there's no use. But if we put this into use and other people also see and also put their stuff, like other people get encouraged with the project we are doing and also start putting plastic waste to use, and this one start putting plastic, and a whole lot of people start doing that, it will get to a point where there will be so much value for it that people cannot afford to dump it. So I believe in they reducing maybe the import or something, but a total ban, I don't really, because rubbers are still useful.
For Calvin Bill,
you just have to be careful because just one mistake can spoil the whole project. It's a bit risky, but thank God we're able to like come out with like good designs and stuff.
About 34 African countries, including Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, Senegal, have been bold enough to ban plastics. Elisha Boy believes Boy and Bill Fashion can do more.
As far as there are going to be plastics, and plastic is not going to be banned anytime soon, we're still going to continue with this idea. And we're going to exploit more. We're going to create more clothes with it. We're going to blend it in with regular materials. We're going to make it as wearable as possible.
According to the Waste Age UK, the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 cannot be achieved unless waste management is addressed as a priority. Isaac Otu, for Adoa News.
Organizers of the African Youth Showbiz Awards have opened nominations for the second edition of the award scheme. Now, this is an award scheme to award excellence in the showbiz industry. Derek Money, a board member of the scheme, throws more light on what this year's edition looks like.
African Youth Showbiz Awards is an award scheme that we've actually strategized to award hardworking youth in the showbiz industry, especially those who are making great impact in their choice of endeavors. We've realized or come to realize that so many youth put in efforts in their specific field or job or any entrepreneurship job you are doing. But at the end of the day, where is the motivation? So Africa Youth Showbiz Awards decided to come together, then award such people for them to feel that their impact is being felt in the showbiz industry. How we strategize it, and then the kinds of nominations and categories we've laid down together clearly tells how we are unique in the awarding system. There have been so many award schemes in Ghana that we can talk of, but Africa Youth Showbiz Awards, the uniqueness and the peculiarity is unmatched. We have we recently added the Discovery Television Station of the Year, which I can boldly say no award scheme in Ghana have ever had such a category in their award scheme. Looking at the number of nominations we are receiving, it clearly tells Ghanaians have really come to accept and understand the award scheme. I want to put across that we at African Youth Showbiz Awards have all the legitimate tools to organize the award to make it best in Ghana. I promise you, African Youth Showbiz Awards is going to be in the book of award schemes in Ghana that has really projected the culture of Ghana and then the world at large. We have the online application, and then we have the mobile application whereby you can send your name, your picture, and then the details to our WhatsApp number. We also have the online one whereby you have the link, you click on the link, and then you follow how to register. We have to fill for the form. We are not accepting any application, but we are accepting people, genuine people who are hardworking and making impact. We've opened for nominations, which is currently ongoing, and then we are doing our possible best with our social media handles. We are closing nominations on the 13th of February.
That's all for tonight on the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. A recap of our top stories. Former President John Dramani Mahama has reported President Akufo-Addo to UK's Commonwealth parliamentarians over what he describes as brazenly abandoning of projects started by past administrations. And Agric Minister Koto Efriyi assures Ghanaians of proper measures to be outlined in ensuring food security in 2022. And in sports, former Norwich City manager Chris Hughton is in Ghana ahead of possibly taking over vacant Black Stars coaching job. News, log on to our website www.adoanewsonline.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana and on YouTube at Adoa TV GH. My name is Benedicta Dodoo, and the evening news is brought to you by Blue City Ties and Accessories, Verna Mineral Water, and Rwandair. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy your evening.